Pollicina's been fast in the Tirana. He goes from 7th. Cameron Mason's been quick in the Mustang from 9th. And Jason Gomersall, the A9X Tirana, a brand that's had some success here, goes from 10th.
Yeah, good drive to JT this week. He's been outside the top 10 a bit. Ryan Hansford starts out of 11. Tim Richards qualified down outside the top 20 and just eased his way up towards the top 10. Aaron McGill is in the field. Alan Bougen is back in the Mercury Comet as well in the 97 machine, down to Paul Freestone, who had a flat right front tyre yesterday. Dean Lilly and Jamie Tilley starting off the back row. Check out these double rows heading down towards the final turn, and 6 laps around this famous mountain on race day. Johnson and Bow, hard to look past Johnson, even with those penalties he's been having for the rev limit on this car. He still manages to put a gap on this field. Will we see a different winner? We're about to find out, because the green flag is about to wave. It's on in the background before we've even started.
Yeah, I think that's one of the Mustangs. Brett Curran spinning in the background. Great start. Bressington looking down the inside of his teammate. The 2 Chevy Camaros are wheel-to-wheel and banging doors through Hill Corner. And it'll be Bressington who goes through. Brett Youlden in the bright green Monaro came off second best there. He got hip and shouldered out wide. He'll lose the spot to Jim Pollicina on the run up the hill. That's busy.
Hansford slowing. We saw that from the top of the Better Electrical Camcat. So the multi-spares Tirana is dropping down the field, but Johnson leads us to the top of the mountain here.
No love between the teammates there. Mark King just cuts across in front of Bressington and said, I want my 3rd place back. I've become accustomed to running there all weekend.
Not today. Up to the top of the cutting we go. In car with the winner of the trophy race, Brad Tilley. Going to the top of the cutting, that's Aaron McGill further ahead. As we climb to the top, so we had a spin before the start of the race. And now they settle in to a bit of a rhythm as we climb to the top of Sulman Park here on lap number 1.
Confirm that for you, but I think it was Brett Hodgkin, Brett Curran, sorry, in the Queensland-based Trans Am Spec Mustang who had the spin. So cold tyres, 3 degrees ambient when we walked in the track this morning, and it's a little bit warmer now, but still very cold. Track temperature still building. We saw fast times in the supercar races, but supercar warm-up, but the grip level is still quite low. So when you've got 650 horsepower, the opening lap of the race and just 1 warm-up lap, putting all that to the ground is pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Hear from Cameron Van der Dungen down in pit lane, covering all the action for us in just a minute. As the field sorts himself out of the elbow for the first time. The run down Conrod straight. Bressington very slow, big moment. Correction, my bad, that was Bougen with a big slide coming out of the elbow.
The back of the shot here, and I think your correction, your prediction is right, and it was the big Trans Am that just looped around. Easy to do with those very cold track conditions we got.
So check Bressington looking down the inside here, so that's on his teammate, and Youlden looking to go the long way round there and just got fed out wide a little bit. Tony Karanfilowski as well. So Kanovic was right in the mix in the brand new XD Falcon. And this coming out of the elbow. There's the Mercury. Did that a couple of times yesterday and kept it out of the fence.
This was Brad Tilley stretching the legs of the big Falcon.
Oh,
that's McGill.
Oh,
McGill.
Man. Oh, that is enormous.
No way.
Oh, wow. Are you serious? How did he not hit anything, Matt?
I'm speechless. That was incredible. Check this out.
I saw the timing screen change and Bressington dropped a heap of spots. There must be something down there as well, because a few others went off in sympathy. So the Ranger Fords ended up in the gravel trap. Watch this again. This from Brad Tilley. 275 Ks.
He avoided Bressington.
Yeah.
And it's just snapped him sideways, 2 360s. And look at Tilley taking to the gravel. There was another car involved in that at the same time. And how we didn't have metal going everywhere, I don't know. Oh, no, watch this. This will be huge going down. Here it comes across the top.
It's brought the safety car out, as you would expect, bunking in the gravel trap at a 250k an hour corner in these cars. That's enormous. So,
how did he not hit anything?
Taking evasive action from Adam Bressington, who was slowing. Aaron McGill has got away with one. His Christmas and birthday presents have come there, because that could have been an enormous accident. That car's actually had an enormous accident there in a previous life. Glenn Seaton was driving, was caught up with another car, ended up in the fence on the run into the chase. So we're under safety car at Mount Panorama. Johnson, Bow and King. And a Ford in the gravel trap at the chase.
So the Vodafone Porsche safety car will come out onto the circuit in just a few moments, and Aaron McGill, I think he'll take being arrested in the gravel trap as a present right now, and that's a shame to see the 95 back in the pits of Adam Bressington, who was slowing on the straight. That car is out of business, and his weekend comes to an end at Mount Panorama. Johnson, Bow, King, Zukanovic running in 4th position, so the Z-Man is inside the top 5. Yulden is 5th, Policina in 6th, and Tony Karanfilowski, Jason Gomersall inside the top 10 with Cam Mason and Jim Richards. Here it is again.
Wanted to see this again because this is some of the most extraordinary driving. There's some luck involved. The big slide, it counterweights one way, goes the other, points itself back in the right direction. Brad Tilley did a tremendous job avoiding any contact there as well. But Aaron McGill will replay that in his head for the rest of his life on how he got away with one at the fastest corner in Australian motorsport. The car was spinning before they got to the corner. I'm in shock at that.
Oh, wow.
That's the reverse entry. You get bonus points for that in drifting.
You do, yes.
But not into a corner that fast.
And right next to the campground down there, where the campers are pretty much on the fence having their morning coffee, going, dude, you're going the wrong way. Man.
It's a two-way road for 340 days of the year, but not this weekend. Extraordinary stuff. Good morning, Cameron. Lots going on in this.
Good morning, gentlemen. I've been running up and down the lane as well. Adam Bressington dropped a cylinder. Ryan Hansford back out on track now. He's got gear selection issues. It keeps getting jammed. Not in gear, but the selector gets jammed. So he's going back out on track now, about a lap down, I think he is. Rod Hodgkin also toured the pit lane on the first lap. His bonnet hadn't been done up.
Oh,
wow.
Right to be the mechanic who did that job.
Early start this morning, I suppose, so a little bit of finger trouble. That's a shame. The safety car will help him get to the back of the pack. So what a drama for Bressington, dropping a cylinder in that car. No wonder it was going so slowly down Conrod Straight. And the Peters Motorsport team, the multi-spares Tirana, have been battling with that gear selection issue all weekend long. And that's another car that's been so quick and yet has had zero reward for pace. That is a race car that in 99% of the times in an accident there at Mount Panorama would not be driving back under its own power to pit lane. But that's what Aaron McGill is doing from one of the great saves. Now, I don't know another way to describe it.
Save of the weekend. We've had a few down there in the chase. And the man who spent many years in the Dunlop Super 2 Series hung up the helmet a couple of years ago, and a great addition to Peter Dixon Touring Car Masters. Has just had one of the biggest spins down the chase of the weekend, and he'll get the car back out in the circuit, but might be a bit more nerve-wracking going into the chase.
Oh, he's going to have to go and have just a warm cup of tea or something to calm down. After that one, I think the blood pressure will be up. It'll be up for some time. So we're under the Vodafone safety car at Mount Panorama. There'll be a restart at the end of this lap. The recovery teams have done a really good job dragging that car out of the gravel trap in quick time so we can get some racing. There'll still be half the race to go. Plenty of laps for things to occur. What's been an exciting weekend for the Painter Dixon Touring Car Masters. They've got one more round to go, Matt. They'll be on the streets of the Newcastle Street Circuit, the Coates Hire Newcastle 500 in November. Really looking forward to that finale.
Some good racing there in 2017, and the guy chasing the Vodafone Porsche safety car wrapped up his first Touring Car Masters Series title at that track, and looking good here in season 2018. Expect the lights to go out here halfway down Conrod Straight. We'll go back to green flag racing. We're in the final race on the mountain. We continue our countdown. An adjustment down here at the Preston Hire and 23 Red Racing. Here's the boom might have fallen down there, and they've just got it back set up in time. So the team fixing that right on the spot down the first pit bay into pit lane here at Bathurst. Wouldn't be Bathurst without the wildlife on the right-hand side. It's just another day, isn't it?
You just keep an eye on them, don't you? Throughout the race, Leo Tobin has got the eyes on. He's in 19th position as we get set for a restart. There'll be 3 laps remaining. Race 3, the 21st of the championship, the Painter Dixon Touring Car Masters. Stephen Johnson yesterday won his 14th race of the season. That equaled John Bow's record for most wins in a single year in the category. So one more win, and it's a new record for car number 17. He's stringing together the most impressive title defence, Stephen Johnson.
Very well. Might get a couple of more race wins before the end of season 2018. Here comes the restart here in the Paynter-Dixon Touring Car Masters. Race number 3. We had the trophy race here yesterday morning. But this to decide the round winner. And the guy in the green and yellow WN Waste Mustang looks in the box seat as they come back to take the green flag. Half race distance here on the mountain.
Yeah, that was an interesting restart. Johnson went really early there. So when the green flag started waving, but Bow was holding back as they went round Murray's corner onto the straight. They've got a big margin. It's wheel to wheel behind with Mark King side by side. Oh, wow, catch it, Al, catch it, no. The Mercury goes into the wall. Oh, that's a big impact as well. He's still got some drive, so try and drive out, but will have broken the steering in that car with an impact like that. Johnson goes up the hill. They've got a big margin. Mark King had dramas, and he's tumbling down the leaderboard.
There was a heap of smoke we saw when we came to that shot into Griffin's Bend. So suddenly this race opens up, and Bow is closer than he's ever been this weekend at Mount Panorama.
And Marcus Zekanovic now a clear third. So he and Mark King were wheel-to-wheel out of turn 1 on the run-up Mountain Straight. Not sure what happened to Mark, so here's another look.
Oh, it's Johnson.
Oh, how's the lock-up? Both front Hoosier tyres firmly stopped on the run into Blundstone Bend. And here's King, so they're wheel-to-wheel, and then there's no drive for the King Springs Camaro. And that was a pretty hefty impact for the Queenslander Al Bowgen. See his head getting knocked around, even with the hands device, the head and neck support.
It's off the curb. It's that bump at the end of the curb, which has tripped a few cars up this weekend, and that is heavy contact, front and rear, to the big Comet.
They've had such a tough year, little Queensland team that punch way above their weight, trying to develop one of the most unique cars in the category. Oh, just had to duck out to drivers right there with Jim Richards in front. Still green. So clearly they've decided that car out of harm's way, and Alan Bowgen is okay, the former drag racer. Zekanovic cruising up to the back of John Bow. We've got a three-way battle for the lead now, and Johnson defending on the run into the chase. This is a great fight. And how good this XD.
And Zekanovic might just get second place here. He's trying the outside line here on John Bow, so a big moment for Marcus Zekanovic inside the top 3. You've got the battle for 4th and 5th behind between Yilden and Jim Policina. They come through to complete another lap. 2:21.1, quickest lap of the race for John Bow, looking for the move down the inside to take the lead at Hell Corner, and the Tirana takes the lead here at Bathurst.
Not for a want of trying on Stephen Johnson's behalf. See how the car was sliding round through Virgin Australia Hell Corner, and now up the straight, he gets a very good run. They're about even in straight line performance with the rev restrictions that car 17 has. This race has come alive after the safety car, and Zekanovic will be enjoying this. Policina looked up the inside. You can breathe, mate. It's all right. They got through.
Apologies for that. I got nervous myself.
No, I
Watching the Tirana go down the inside. He's trying the outside now at the top of the cutting. And could Marcus Zekanovic get second spot here?
That'd be a big result. Johnson won't want to lose P2.
No.
It may actually cost him the round overall. Might hand it to John Bow. It's been a long time between drinks for JB, so he'll be pretty keen to get one at Mount Panorama. Cam?
Yeah, I got Aaron McGill quickly. Aaron, mate, that was wild.
Yep, well, yeah, I've been in a long time, the things I'll do for sponsors, but that was above and beyond the call. That was the wildest ride I've had in a long time, and how everyone missed me and how I missed everything. It was more arse and class, but we pulled it off.
All right, mate, better let you go and get a lotto ticket.
Yeah, and go to the loo.
It's such a character, Aaron McGill. That's exactly what he's like in real life too, folks. And great to see him back in the pits up that wild spin.
Hashtag no filter.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he's the original David Reynolds.
He is, isn't he? He proposed to his partner here a couple of years ago on the grid before a Super 2 race, remember? Wow. So Bow pulling away from Johnson. Zekanovic just dropping off the back of that leading battle between the two legends. This guy's having a terrific weekend. Brett Yalden, he's got a tribute to Bob Jane on the back of the GTS 350 Minari. Actually found an old sticker that he had since he was a younger guy, he tells me, from one of Bob's old Holden dealers, and he flew it up, replicated it, and it's on the boot of this car.
Cool.
So a really cool little tribute. Just see it there in front of the rear spoiler as some work goes on. Gear selector there. And that's on Mark King's car by the looks of it, White Line Racing. Wow, Pollicina around the outside. Thank you very much. Holden Tirana with a good move, but 5-litre power to the bigger engine in the HQ will be an interesting drag race on the run up the hill.
This is great. Pollicina's been fantastic this weekend.
Hasn't he?
And stay side by side. The Monaro have longer legs heading up Mountain Straight. The view from the better electrical Camcat. Watch the way the track just drops down on the other side. It really shows you the elevation change.
That's a brilliant shot. So just at the end of the straight there, the HQ had the extra legs, but the Tirana had the correct line into turn 2, and Pollicina moves himself up to 4th place. Sydney Sider, the Privateers champion, I suppose you could say, in the Kumo V8 Touring Car Series this year. Really impressive driver with a lot of history. He's also racing production cars in a Lotus this season. So he's got 3 pretty unique race cars he's been running this season.
Not consistent by any stretch, are
Not
they?
even slightly. Sublime to the sublime and ridiculous somewhere in there as well.
Yes. Final.
Over that car a lot. He loves it. Always tinkering, always trying to make it faster. And John Bowe still so competitive. Loves winning races. This is going to be a really pleasing result on a big Sunday at Mount Panorama. He's pretty accustomed to winning at this place. This will be another one on his big CV. The round will go to Johnson. He'll have to wait till Newcastle to break Bowe's all-time winning streak. Former winner of the great race is going to win today.
He just never ages, does he, John Bowe? Hasn't won since Winton. That changes today because he wins here on the big stage at Mount Panorama by just over 3 seconds. Johnson will be home for second. Zekanovic to third. Pollicina fourth. Yilden in fifth. Jim Richards side by side with Mason comes up short of the line, but it's position 8 for JR.
He's still got it. No problem. 7th and 8th. Good drive. Cameron Mason 7th. That's his best result of the year by far. Andrew Fisher works his way through just outside the top 10. The better electrical Camcat shows us the cars rolling into the back of the paddock to the applause of this massive crowd assembled in the campgrounds here this weekend. So Bowe, Johnson and Zekanovic the podium. Marcus in the top 3 for the first time. Pollicina and Yulden were next, and it was Freestone from the back of the field. Cameron Mason, Jim Richards, Tony Karafalowski and Jason Gomersal.
Well, Rusty French just finishing outside the top 10 there in 11th. Andrew Fisher 14th. Leo Tobin down there in 17th. And Brett Hodgkin finishing behind.